Welcome to Solo Travel Adventures, my sisters. Don't let fear hold you back from traveling alone. I want you to gather your courage, listen to inspiring stories, and learn how to travel solo while safely navigating new places from this show. I'm Cheryl Esch, solo travel advocate and travel coach, and I want you to have a transformative experience when you travel solo. So pack your bags, book your flight, and check one more time for that passport. It's time to explore the world. Hello, sister travelers. Well, as we are winding down this year, it's almost the end of the year. It's almost 2025. Have you started thinking about where you're going to go in 2025? Well, I have, but I wanted to share with you, I've came across some travel trends for 2025. Now, this list is more of a general list. I want you to stay tuned for next week where I do my favorite episode of picking destinations that are trending. But this episode is going to give you some generalizations of what inspires people to travel to certain destinations. That's the question. And I am curious. So I did some research and, as we know, 2024 revenge travel had leveled off, and we did see, of course, still a continued increase of female solo travelers in 2024, and that is not stopping, ladies. So let's just keep that trend rising. But I wanted to share some of the other reasons why people travel and pick specific types of travel or certain types of destinations. The first one is you're going to see in 2025 more eco-tourism or sustainability type of tourism. Now, this is travel that is responsible travel and mindful of the impact they are having on local people, animals, and businesses. It includes accommodations that might use green practices, renewable energy, and you might even travel by land as opposed to air, because airline travel does produce a lot of emissions. And, if you're really eco-friendly, that might be contention as to how you travel and where you go. There is ways to also do volunteerism where you can volunteer for maybe a conservation organization and really give back in this ecotourism trend that is happening now. So maybe that is what is inspiring you to travel. That would be one reason. We're going to see a lot more of that in 2025. 2025 is also going to bring a lot more tech and AI planning of travel. Have you tried using AI for planning a trip? I talk a little bit about it in episode 102, in which, I share how you can use it, kind of the pitfalls, what to watch out for, and how to feed it prompts that will continue to give you the best answers. I have started using it a little bit more so just to give me travel ideas for specific places. It helps to sort of comb that whole internet to, instead of you doing a whole ton of research, it's very helpful in that way. However, once you get those tips from AI, always follow up and just check to do your research. Make sure maybe if they recommend a certain business, make sure it's still in business, those kind of things. So definitely it's a trend. It definitely will save you time. Number 3, we're going to see a lot more of cosmic getaways, or what we call astrotourism. So we noticed this last year in 2024 when there was a huge draw for people to travel to see the solar eclipse. Most of that was seen in the North American continent. So I think there's one coming up 2025 that will cross parts of Europe. I think Spain and Portugal. I don't quite remember. But so these types of events are huge. A lot of people are following these. There's the A3 comet that people are following. There's, of course, the Northern Lights. We know that's so popular. And this year, 2024, they saw a spike in how often people would see the Northern Lights, meaning how often they would display themselves. But they're expecting that there's going to be more of that in 2025. There's going to be more opportunities to see the Northern Lights. So planning your trip there. There's also people really into sort of the space shuttle launches, and so they could go places to watch those as well. Could also just be a way to do some stargazing somewhere. And so stargazing has become just kind of a big part of astrotourism, in that people are traveling to places that are dark enough to see the sky. And so in 2023, actually, 20 new international dark sky parks were designated worldwide. And those ranged from North America to Europe to China. And this is just a growing trend in travel destinations for people looking for low light pollution areas so that they can do really good stargazing. Another trend that we are seeing is people going on what's called silent travel. And so this is a move actually away from touristy destinations. We've kind of started seeing that, but it's become a thing, and they've kind of given it a name now. But it's a place to disconnect, rest, sleep, and truly become, at least for us Americans who work really hard and we are usually stressed out, to fully really have a true vacation where we can totally relax. This might include forest bathing. It might include stargazing camps that they have out there, or even just a general longer trip, sometimes maybe a month long, where you can truly disconnect. There's even silent retreats that you could possibly attend. So this is where you can fully disconnect from your phone, from the internet, and just kind of reset yourself. Honestly, I've done that and it's amazing. The final reason people will be inspired to travel to specific destinations in 2025, and this is a huge trend, and it's movie and show inspired locations. So these are, of course, locations where you have watched a movie or a show and you've been inspired by that location. Here are some examples. One of my favorites, of course, is Emily in Paris. And so obviously it's shot in Paris, but this past season it was also in Rome. So you got Paris and Rome inspired travel there. Another favorite show of mine is Bridgerton, and that was shot in Bath, England, or Greenwich. So those are two places that are getting a lot more tourist people. Paddington 3 was shot in Peru. So we're seeing more people going to Peru because of that. White Lotus. Oh, these are several places. I guess I have not watched White Lotus, but apparently each season is maybe shot in a different place. There's Maui, Sicily, and season 4. Very popular. This is actually already a semi-popular place, but it's Koh Samui in Thailand. So that is a beautiful area, and White Lotus has inspired more people to go there. And then Gladiator movie, right? That has recently come out. And so again, we're looking at Rome, the Colosseum. However, they have used Morocco and Malta. So we're seeing a lot of people wanting to go to those places as well. So what inspires you to travel to a certain destination? Do you have a method of how you pick a place? Or do you get inspiration from TV shows, from other people, based on your values? Maybe you want to do eco-tourism instead now, or you like the touristy places that you see in those magazines or Travel and Leisure. I would love to actually hear what inspires you and what makes you decide on a certain destination. I do have a little method to my madness at times, and sometimes I'm just sort of led by inspiration, internal inspiration sometimes as well. So I'd love to hear. You can join my Facebook group. So if you're part of my Facebook group, then I will pose that question this week, and you can add your comments and answer. I would love to hear those. I hope 2025 you have started planning some of your travel, but stay tuned for next week when I get very specific on some top 10 destinations for solo travelers for 2025. Hey, sister travelers, did this podcast inspire and encourage you or move you to get out there and travel? Wonderful. There are 3 ways you can thank me. First one is leave a written review for the show on Apple Podcast. 2, share the show with your sister travelers, your friends, your family. And 3, subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode. And thank you again for listening to the show. Sisters, be fearless, take the leap, and get out there and have an adventure.